Hi, Rashid Kapadia here, January 16th, 2018. Tomorrow I head out for my first 10-day Vipassana training course as taught by S.N. Goenka. And I thought I'll put together a summary video of why I decided to do it, how I prepared for it, what I expected, and what I have learned so far. To start with, I first heard of S.N. Goenka and Vipassana 35 years ago when my mother went for her first Vipassana course. She's been doing courses from the early 1980s and has done almost 20 courses, including many advanced courses. She's always spoken very glowingly of the results, and I remember that. However, it never occurred to me that I should do some of this myself. Step 2. Last year, when reading Yuval Noah Harari's second famous book, Homo Deus, I couldn't help but noticing that the dedication was made to, dedicated to my teacher S.N. Goenka, who lovingly taught me important things. And somehow I wasn't expecting this. I was surprised and I mentioned it to my mother. Listen, this extraordinary author, one of the most clear-thinking authors I have ever come across, is a Vipassana student, and we started chatting a little bit more. And had my mother not done Vipassana, or had I not recognized the name, I would never have been having this conversation. These were the two, I would say, foundational steps. I researched a little bit more about Yuval Harari's experience with Vipassana, and he said he started doing it as a student in Oxford in 2000. And he has been doing courses every year since, and he spends 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening keeping up practicing and doing the technique, and he credits this to a lot of his success. And I found this to be remarkable because he is truly extraordinary, and if he can fit this in with his extremely busy schedule, there must be something that's worth looking into. So I kept speaking to my mom, which I do regularly, and we somehow began to discuss Vipassana more often, and I discovered she still keeps up with it. Everyone in our hometown in India who has done the course, they get together once a week, or at least many of them, and they practice together. So this benefit has lasted for decades. So as part of my inquiry, I watched a couple of TED Talks, one by Alona Ariel in 2013, and she says she started 26 years ago. So here's another long-term beneficiary and evangelist. She spoke glowingly of the technique, and she also mentioned 2 documentaries, one which she made called Doing Time, Doing Vipassana, about how this technique was used in Tihar jail. And the second movie was how prisoners in Donaldson prison in Alabama, one of the most terrible prisons in Alabama, the United States, they introduced this technique with some good results. So 2 TED Talks. Then I watched 3 documentaries which these TED Talks introduced me to. One was Doing Time, Doing Vipassana, and truly it made me think that this is working. The second one is the Dhamma Brothers, which is about the jail in Alabama. And the third one was called Changing from Within, which was made by a very low drug type of jail in somewhere up Seattle or somewhere in the Northwest, where they first experimented with this in the United States and had good results. So 3 documentaries showing that it could work at least on certain populations, and they spoke glowingly of it too. And parallel with this, I kept reading. I tend to read a lot. I went to my go-to book on mindfulness, Search Inside Yourself, written by an engineer. I enjoyed it. I picked up another book by a leading academic, Why Buddhism is True, and things started fitting a little bit more in place. Yes, I'm seeing the future. I picked up a book called The Art of Living. The official explanation of the 10-day Vipassana course is taught by S.N. Goenka. I got what it's all about. And I finally picked up Letters from Dhamma Brothers. So this was written by Jenny Phillips, who made the Alabama prisoner movie, but they kept writing to her, and she was so taken up and astounded by those letters that she converted it to a book. So that was my broad exposure, and I began to sense that this is something important going on. I'm seeing the future here. And still, I never thought, where am I going to go sit for 10 days doing a meditation course? It didn't really occur to me. I put it loosely on my bucket list. Okay, I'll do it sometime. Then as I was reading more and more, I must mention this, I was very impressed by the financial model on which this works. So now that I'm going for the course, I'm not going to pay anything. Someone who has already completed the course, and these are the only people who can donate. Someone who has already completed the course has made a donation, which is a gift to me. So I will be doing this free, and then as and when I can afford, if I want to, I can contribute to others who are coming or to new centers. And I find it remarkable that more than 100 centers across the globe, across decades, are surviving and functioning on this model, this financial model. I was very impressed by that, and that said, okay, this is something that I really must look into, perhaps even participate. So I decided, let me try sitting down for 30 minutes and see if I can meditate. Prior to that, I was just dabbling, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't think I ever did 10 minutes. But on 15th December or mid-December, I said, let me try 30 minutes. It wasn't such a big deal. I got it done. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it really wasn't too bad. I tried it for 15 days, and then I went to the Dhamma website and applied on 28th. And 29th, they accepted me, very professional. So I tried to sit the second time in the evening. And from then onwards, for the last 15 days, I've been sitting, meditating for 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. And it's really not that difficult. So this made me confident. Yes, I can do it. I'm going to go for it. So now what am I going to expect from this course? First, I have to go for 10 days and they do what is called noble silence. I can't speak to anyone. I have to reflect. No eye contact, no signaling. It's all about being with myself. Of course, it's not that I have to be mute if I have some issues with the facilities or food, or I have questions for the instructors. Of course, I can speak. But the general concept is I must have the discipline to look inwards and follow the course. So I'm expecting to be silent for 10 days. It's called noble silence. And over in all the documentaries in the book, they talk about a very rigid, structured course. So yes, I fully agree that I'm going to follow the rules. Whatever they tell me, I'll do that. I should mention this also. I went and saw a lot of reviews of people who had just completed the course on YouTube. 5,000 views, 10,000 views. I was surprised all across the globe. So I got a sense I'm on the right track, and that so many others have done it. I should be able to do it. So what am I going to expect? So I'm going to 10 days silence. I'm going to do exactly what they tell me to do and nothing more. And I expect that for the first 3 days, I will be focusing on observing my breath. So this is no philosophy, no affirmations, no visualizations, none of that. Just focus on my natural breath going in and out through my nostrils to train my mind to be sharper. This will go on for 3 to on. And on the 4th day, with that sharpened mind, I understand they will ask us to start scanning our body, looking for body sensations. And that is the true Vipassana practice, being aware of what is going on inside. So that is what I foresee that I will be doing for the next 10 days. I understand that all suffering is brought about by a reaction to those pleasant and unpleasant sensations, which I will be able to watch with much more focus, much higher resolution, to use my engineering language. Now at this point, I'm going to take a break and put about 4 to 5 minute clip from the movie Doing Vipassana, where they explain what I will experience for the next 10 days. Here we go.
At first, all one is asked to do is to focus on one's own natural breath, to feel it coming in and out of the nostrils, and to maintain this awareness for as long as possible. Sounds simple, but it's not. When one sits down to be still, an endless stream of thoughts wells up in the mind. Memories, hopes, fears start flooding in. After a 3-day struggle, the mind quiets down. Thoughts become faint, faded like passing clouds. By focusing for so long on the small patch of skin below the nostrils, the mind becomes so sensitive that it can feel the subtlest flow of breath. A new realm of sensations unfolds within this area. Itching, tingling, heat, pressure, natural physical sensations, never before experienced so vividly. Only then is one prepared to learn Vipassana. Continuous awareness of physical sensations without reacting is the core of the Vipassana practice. Every sound, vision, taste, smell, everything that contacts the body instantly produces some sensation. The technique focuses on natural physical sensations as the crucial link between mind and body, the key to understanding human behavior. Through Vipassana, one realizes that one's own attitudes and addictions, suffering and happiness, are not caused by the outside world. It is the reactions to pleasant or unpleasant sensations the world evokes within the body that dictate one's actions and conditions the mind. On the 4th day of the course, Vipassana is taught. Students learn how to observe objectively all the sensations in their bodies, whatever they may be, without reacting to them. They watch emotions come and go. They watch pain come and go. They watch pleasure come and go. And they realize, not intellectually, but through their own experience, that nothing is permanent. Hatred, passion, greed are not abstract anymore. By watching the physical sensations accompanying these emotions, and by understanding their impermanent nature, one can actually start changing the habit of blind reaction. Between the two poles of expression and suppression lies a third option, mere observation.
That's a good clip. That sums up everything beautifully, and I love the way it ends. Between the two poles of reaction and suppression, there lies a third pole, mere observation, which is what I intend to do. Now, what are some of my plans as a result of my discussions with my mom and all the reviews I saw on YouTube? I made a kind of to-do list. Focus on this. These are the top points for me to focus. Number 1, don't drop out. Apparently, we all will go through emotional storms. Most likely on day 3 and day 6, they'll be the worst. So one of the reviewers says, but don't drop out. Don't drop out. So this is my top priority. Don't drop out. And given the fact that hundreds and thousands of people have done it, I intend to finish it. Now, some of the other tips, they could go like this. Manage my expectations. I'm not going there to become better or any such thing. I am going there to learn a technique and focus on that. Just focus on the technique. I'm not going there to get rid of some pains or suffering or to increase my focus. All those will be delightful bonuses, but I am going there to learn and practice a technique. Keep this top in mind. Don't quit. Focus on the technique. Practice getting comfortable. It's uncomfortable sitting down for so long. So one of the very kind reviewers said, sit on somewhere at home. It doesn't matter if you're meditating, even if you're watching TV, but sit on a cushion and see if you can manage it for 1 hour. If you can, you should be fine. I've done that. I'm good to go. Another tip I got was don't overeat. You're using so little energy in the day that you might want to overeat, and this will make you drowsy. That's a good tip I wouldn't have thought of. Thank you. I intend to eat just small portions. There will be some free times spaced out during the course of the day, which starts at 4 in the morning is the wake up, and we go to bed at 9:30, but it's very regimented, and there will be some free times. He said, stay present in the free times too. That was some advice he gave us. Take a look, be aware of what's happening. And then comes the important one. There will be downtimes, there will be storms, there will be emotional roller coaster rides. Be prepared for them, allow them to pass, and continue focusing on the technique. This is probably what I have to remember most of all. Then he says there'll be a lot of chanting. It's good that I heard this now. I wasn't expecting it. Be prepared for it. No big deal. There's going to be a lot of chanting. And there will be questions time in the evening where you can speak to the instructors. So don't try to be clever and smart, was his advice. Keep it simple and focus on the key issues. Let me now sum up what I think are the basics. My understanding about Vipassana is that it is insight. You look inside yourself to see more realistically what's going on inside. It's about Vipassana meditation is awareness and equanimity. So be aware of my breath, be aware of my sensations, and don't react to them. Handle them with equanimity. This is the broad picture of Vipassana as I understand it. To sum it up, become an expert at not reacting and not suppressing, but just merely observing the sensations in your body, because they are accompanied with the emotions which come and go, which are impermanent, which cause our suffering. Now I'm going to insert another clip from the movie Search Inside Yourself. This is less than 2 minutes, but it sums up the process again. So one more time, this is what I'm going to do. Here we go.
The meditation program has 3 essential parts. The first is a code of basic moral conduct. For the duration of the 10 days, students vow to abstain from killing, from stealing, from sexual misconduct, from lying, and from using any intoxicants. Next comes the practice of concentration, or mastery over the mind. In Anapana, students observe their own respiration. They work at focusing their attention on the breath as it enters and leaves the nostrils. As students practice the technique, they experience the turbulent and nearly uncontrollable activity of their own mind. Thoughts, memories, emotions, reveries, even songs arise to overwhelm one's attention. Little by little, the student learns to focus their attention and master the wildness of their own mind. Finally, they will use their heightened concentration to develop insight into their own nature. As they sit quietly, students practice objectively observing the changing flow of sensations, whether pleasant or unpleasant, that arise in the body. They begin to understand the origins of their thoughts and behavior at a deeper level, beyond the intellectual realm of ideas and concepts, at the experiential level. Gradually, they develop detachment toward the compulsive cravings and aversions which control them. This is the beginning of self-knowledge, or wisdom.
And now, after the second movie clip, I think let me conclude with what I hope to achieve. I'm going to view it almost like instead of going to a physical gym. When I go to a physical gym, I have few clear goals. Exercise regularly, don't get injured. This is for your overall health. Everything else is a bonus. If I run marathons, if I do any great physical feats, that's all a bonus. But the reason to exercise is to do it regularly and not get injured so that you have a general well-being and good health. Something similar. I'm viewing this as a kind of boot camp for something inside of me that hasn't been exercised before. Focus on the technique. There will be emotional storms. Handle them. Everything will pass. And anything else that I get from this is a bonus. However, what I would really love to get is what Yuval Noah Harari says. He says the 2 top benefits from doing the course were that he got a very much greater focus, his ability to focus and his ability to separate fiction from reality. If I get these 2 bonuses, I'll gladly take them. And I want to keep this on record also. So when I finish the course, I can compare before and after. Now, As I close down, I ask you to wish me luck, and I intend to keep a few videos coming on this new voyage for me, because I believe we are going to see more and more of this in the future. Good luck. Thank you.